Good morning, students. I hope you all are very well. So, today let's start with Geography chapter Water. Students, we will cover this chapter in two parts. So, let's begin with part 1. Let's talk about the introduction, what this chapter wants to say to us. Our Earth is also known as blue planet. Why planet? Because out of 100% of the Earth area, about 71% is covered up with the water. The presence of water in large quantities makes our Earth unique among the planets of the because water is present on the earth in very large quantity, so this make our earth as a unique planet out of all planets in the solar system. There are many water bodies such as ocean, sea, river. They all together make up the hydrosphere. Means in hydrosphere what all comes? Water bodies like ocean, sea, rivers, etc. It also includes the ice sheet or the glacier, which are situated in the polar region, and also ice sheets, ice coverings, which is on the high mountain regions. And there are also underground water and water vapor in the earth. This means this all also includes is a type of water also. Water supports all form of life on earth and is very important because water supports all form of living as it is required for food food making by plants and by human beings also, for drinking purpose by human beings. So it is very important resource which is available to us. Okay, what is water cycle? Water is a continuous moving in a cyclic manner from means it is a continuous movement from surface of the earth to atmosphere and from atmosphere to surface of the earth. So this cycle goes on and on without any break. And if we talk about the start from the starting, the water from the ocean and other water bodies, it evaporates because of sun heat, and it goes after evaporation, it goes to the atmosphere as water vapor. Okay, and when water vapor reaches to upper layer of the earth or reaches to its maximum point, it then cools down and it condenses or it forms the cloud after being cooled down. And when causes when cloud becomes heavy, means when the amount of water vapor is very very much in the atmosphere and the cloud, so the cloud causes precipitation, and that water in the form of rain or droplets, it comes back to the earth as snowfall or as a rainfall. Okay, most of the water which falls on the land flows down to river, means the most of the water which falls as a rain or snowfall, it goes to the river, which ultimately goes in the ocean. There is a lot of rain that fall directly on the ocean. It's not compulsory that all the rain will fall on the land. Many times rains also fall on the ocean, so evaporation starts again and this water cycle continues. Here you can see the working diagram of the water cycle. Let's start from the very left. Here you can see that red red arrow which shows the movement upward. It shows that the water is evaporating. So here it is written as evaporation. Then you can see the big clouds, small clouds. So it shows that water when reaches to height, it becomes cold and condenses, and it forms as a cloud. And when the amount of water vapor is very high, and when the cloud cannot hold, so the water falls down. Okay, same. So again the water comes back to ocean, sea, and other sources. Now here comes the fresh water. So it is water is of two types: fresh water, which is available for drinking, and there is also saline water, which is not suitable for drinking. Let's talk about fresh water. Water which contains very less amount of salt is known as fresh water. Means there is minimum amount of salt, and that the water is suitable for drinking is known as fresh water. And if we talk about the availability of fresh water, then two-thirds of the earth's surface is covered with water, which is means that two-third amount is of saline water, and out of the very less is fresh. About 90% of the earth water is in ocean and sea. Means uh, as 70%, 71% is covered with water. Out of that, almost 97, 98%, the water is in ocean and sea form, and that water is saline water because it have more salt dissolved in that, and that saline water is not suitable for human use or human consumption. The remaining 3% is fresh water, but out of that 3%, 2% is ice or glacier form, which is again very far and cannot be used for drinking, and remaining 1% that we drink. So as 97 is saline water, 2% is ice cap, and remaining 1% is available for human use. It is found as the surface water in river and lakes, as groundwater. So the fresh water is found at river, lake, groundwater, and water vapor. Okay, let's move forward. Here you can see the image of some mountain area, and it is the fresh water because when ice melts, so it forms becomes water, and water falls down from the mountain area and it collects at a particular place. So it is, you may term this particular place as lake. Okay, it is fresh water, useful for drinking. Okay, so now let's move forward. Need for water consumption. Need for water conservation. So the first method is to capture runoff water from the rooftops. Means from roof, when rain comes and that water which is collected on roof, it goes as wastage. So first method is to capture that runoff water. Second is to capture runoff water from the local catchment area. Means not to waste water from the local area. And third is to capture seasonal flood water from local streams. Means when rainy season is there, so the water which flows without getting any use, to capture that water. The fourth is to conserve water through watershed management. Means to collect water at a place so that it can be available for the use in future. So this all four means, it says that the collected water should be kept clean. Means the water which we are collecting or which is collected, it should be clean or it should be kept clean by by how many means we can keep it clean, by not allowing any polluting activities or not allowing any pollutant uh, in that particular area where water is being conserved. So okay, so wells and tubes are used to extract groundwater. So how will you extract the ground water from the ground or groundwater? Wells, tube wells, etc. These are the source to extract water from the ground or groundwater. Okay, here is the diagram. Why it is important to conserve water? Because to preserve environment. If water is not there, then how plants will grow, and if plants will not grow, then how we will find our fulfill our food capacity. Then strengthen communities. Means if water is there, people will able to make food, they will able to drink water, etc. To make water available for recreational purpose. As you all know, you must have visited water parks. So water is why you visit water park, for some recreational activity or some purpose. So imagine if water is not there, then why will you visit water park? So recreational activity to prepare for future droughts. Means uh, water must be preserved so that plants must be allowed to live, and they prepare their food with the help of groundwater. So if groundwater is not there and if rain is not there, the plants will die. Okay, to guard against rising costs and potential consumption, because we all know that in many areas water is not available for drinking or any other purpose, So there you will see there are many kinds of conflict between the people. So to restrict and to finish this kind of conflicts, we have to conserve the water. Now here comes the saline water. Let's talk about saline water. What is saline water? Water, that kind of water which contains a very large amount of dissolved salt, or the in water in which large amount of big amount of salt is mixed or salt is dissolved. It is known as saline water. The ocean, for example, ocean and sea water, it is saline water. There are various types of salt, not only our the common salt, there are also other kinds of salt, but sodium chloride or common salt which we use at our home, magnesium chloride, magnesium and calcium sulfate, they are the main salt which could be found in saline water. The amount of salt in the ocean water is called, means, what is salinity? The amount of salt in ocean water is known as salinity. And what is saline water? The when water contains large amount of salt dissolved in this, then it is known as saline water. Salinity of water depends on following factor. Now know that what is salinity of water and what is saline water. So what are the factors of salinity of water? So rate of evaporation, means what, how fast is evaporation, is amount of precipitation, means how much rainfall is there or snowfall is there, amount of fresh water that is added to ocean, means what are the other sources of fresh water, or what are the, how many rivers does fall down in that particular ocean. So these are the factors. What are the major water bodies? There are basically four major water bodies which are as follows. According to size, if you talk about size, then Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Arctic Ocean, four major ocean according to size. And the continent of Antarctica is surrounded by a water body which is actually an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. And if we go to the South Pole where Antarctica is located, so it is surrounded by, or it is surrounded by, or by water bodies which are actually the extension or the um, extra area of, or extra part of the Pacific, Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. It is known as Antarctic Ocean or the Southern Ocean, or the ocean which surrounds the Antarctica is also known as Antarctic or the Southern Ocean. Okay, let's move forward. Very simple. So we have studied that there are four major water bodies as per the size. So first let's start with the Pacific Ocean. It is the largest ocean on the earth and it occupies almost one third of the earth's surface. Its area, means uh, how much area it is being distributed. So its area is combined to the, means area of Pacific Ocean is greater than the total area of all continents, all seven major continents. It is also the deepest ocean, as the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest place or deepest point on the Earth's surface, is lies under the Pacific Ocean. This ocean almost circular in shape. If we talk about the shape of this Pacific Ocean, then it is circular in shape, and North America and South America in the east, and Asia and Australia on the west to this ocean. And if we go to north of this ocean, it is joined by the Arctic Ocean through a narrow Bering Strait. And if we go to south, it merges with Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean near Antarctica. Okay. It also has many islands or many small land part which is also known as island, and many of them island which are situated in Pacific Ocean. They are volcanic in nature, means they have volcanoes situated in that islands. Okay, let's move forward. Second, the Atlantic Ocean. It is the second largest ocean of the world on the earth, and it covers 1/6 area of the earth's surface. We can find continents of Europe and Africa in the east, and if you go to west, the North America and South America is there to the Atlantic Ocean. If we go to north of Atlantic Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean goes till Arctic Circle, and in south it merges with Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean. It has many number of islands and marginal seas or small seas. A long underwater ridge, which is also known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge in the Atlantic Ocean, it extends from north to south of Atlantic Ocean floor between the America and European land masses. Means there is a water ridge which is known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Which goes from north to south Atlantic Ocean between the America and European landmass, means between these two areas. There are coasts along the Atlantic Ocean which are very irregular, means they are not regular in nature. They provide excellent location for ports and harbors. Means there are many ports and harbors located near on the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean in terms of passenger cargo traffic. We can find many cargo ships and many passenger ships as well on the Atlantic Ocean route. Let's move forward. Here comes the Indian Ocean. It is the only ocean which is named after a country, India. The shape of Indian Ocean is triangular. Indian Ocean, in the north we will find Asia, and just above the head of Indian Ocean there is country India. Okay, Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal are the two northward extension or two northward parts of Indian Ocean. If you go to east, Australia is there, and if you go to west, Africa is there. If you go to south, it merges with Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. And if we talk about the deepest point in the Indian Ocean, then it is the Sundra Trench, which is located in the Indian Ocean. Deepest point. Only in Indian Ocean. We know that the deepest point of all ocean is in Pacific Ocean, which is the Mariana Trench. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about the Arctic Ocean. It is situated in North Pole and extends southward up to the Arctic Circle. Means from North Pole to Arctic Circle, this much area. North America, Europe, and Asia, they are the three continents that border this ocean or which is situated in the south of this ocean. The Arctic Ocean merges with where it mixes with Atlantic Ocean and the Scandinavia. It is linked with the Pacific through the Bering Strait, and it is joined or it is linked with Pacific Ocean through the Bering Strait. Means there is a way known as Bering Strait, so it is linked with Pacific Ocean with Bering Strait. Let's move forward. Let's talk why oceans are important. Because the maximum amount of evaporation or water vapor starts from the ocean only or from the ocean water only. Evaporation results in condensation, which we have already studied in the starting of this chapter. Evaporation results in condensation, which results in the rainfall. Oceans have moderating effect on the climate of the coastal region, making them pleasant. Means coastal region climate is pleasant, means not very hot, not very cold, in the middle. Okay, the ocean water are the home of great variety of marine life. Means in ocean we will find a great variety of animals which live in water or the marine animals, and these marine animals, they are the source of livelihood or they are the source of living to many people on the land. If we talk about the saline water on ocean can be made suitable for drinking by desalinization process. Okay, if we want to use the water of ocean, but the saline water, how will it use? We will use it by desalinization process. Means to extract the salt at one part and the water goes for drinking purpose. And the ocean water have many dissolved salts in it, and the ocean water has many kind of minerals deposited in it, which is also important for us. Okay, let's move forward. Ocean water and their circulation. How ocean water circulation happens? all the water bodies on the earth surface, which may be ocean, sea, river, lakes, they all together or they combinedly with snow and ice, they are called hydrosphere. If you want to understand it very simply, then hydrosphere, all kind of water source, it may be ocean, maybe sea, maybe river, lake, snow, ice, all these together form hydrosphere. The hydrosphere is an important, it is very, we all know it is very important for any person, plant, animal and human. They cannot survive without water. Maybe we can survive without food, but water is compulsory for the survival of any kind of living being on the earth. And water, which comes in form of rain, it is the chief agent, or it helps to cool the atmosphere or to decrease the temperature or to maintain the temperature in the atmosphere. All these water bodies, they help marine activities and in the promotion of trade and commerce. We all know that ocean, cargo ship goes, passenger ship goes, so trade commerce goes on. River, lake and ocean and sea, they provide food in the form of fish, means marine life, which is source of trade and commerce for person. Okay. Movement of ocean water means how ocean water moves. The water of the ocean and sea are never still. Means the water of sea and ocean, they are never still. They move on continuously, or they in continuous motion. They move horizontally. Or they move vertically also. Not it depends on them only. Okay. The movement of ocean water, there are three types. Means in three ways ocean water moves: waves, tides, and currents. We'll study in the part second about this. These movements are caused due to following factor. And why these wave, tide, and current happens, or why these three types of movement form? Because temperature is different, salinity is different at different place, density of sea water is different. Same ocean, same water, but density may be different, salinity may be different at different place, temperature of that particular water may be different, and the winds also cause the movement. So winds also affects on the movement of the ocean. So students, here comes the end of part first. We will continue the part second in the next video, and we will study about wave, tides and currents in next part 2. Okay, take care, see you.